Joining me now is Einar Tangen. He's a political and economic affairs commentator. Einar, the big headline, the new stock market in Beijing for small and medium-sized businesses. How significant is this, and will it have any impact on the other two exchanges on the mainland?
Well, it has a slightly different emphasis. What we're talking about here is more the small, medium-sized enterprises, which, as you know, 90% of new jobs and a tremendous amount of the GDP, the majority of the GDP is generated by them. So it's very important to figure out mechanisms to fund them. And this is what this initiative is part of, making sure they have access to capital. And this has been on the primary list for the government for quite some time.
When do you think it'll take off? How should outsiders view this?
Well, they should view it as an opportunity. I mean, what you see here is, this kind of whole trade and services is about efficiency. China is driving to make sure that its economy is not only able to produce in mass quantity, but also at the most efficient way. And that means in terms of price and also in terms of the environment. So when people start evaluating where China is going, they should realize that there is an overall plan to create this ongoing sustainable society, both economically, politically, and socially.
What would you consider some of the other big takeaways listening to President Xi's speech?
Well, what you have here is in 2013, services were about 46% of the economy, large, but not the majority. Today, it stands at 54%, and it accounts for 60% of the nation's growth. So it's a very important sector. And as I said, it goes back to this efficiency. In terms of what Xi Jinping's saying with these innovation zones and et cetera, like that, this is all supporting what China sees as the next growth opportunity in digital, science and technology, professional services, all of these areas. So companies who are looking at China should realize, cut through the hype about, China is trying to destroy markets. They should understand that China is trying to make sure that they have growing, sustainable markets well into the future.
They're calling this the fourth industrial revolution. The fair's theme is digital future. You just listed a lot of things there. But want to point out that there are thousands of attendees, 150 countries, more than represented here. What does this signal, especially amid the pandemic? I mean, everyone's had to kind of pivot and go online, but what's the larger picture here, especially with all the different people, companies wanting to take part in CIFTIS?
Well, a lot of this is about predictability. Where are the markets in the world that are continuing to grow? I mean, China demonstrated, even in the worst of circumstances, able to grow 2.3% this year. They're concentrating, as I said, on a balanced economy. You're going to see a lot of companies and people shifting towards the growing middle class, providing the kind of services that they need, value added and efficiency. And when that happens, if you hit it right, you're going to do very, very well in China, regardless of whether you're inside or out. And that's one of the key messages here. This negative list that he talked about, that Xi Jinping talked about, is all about making it a lot simpler. You don't have to inquire if the area you're interested is not on that negative list. You have free and open access. It's normalizing foreign companies and Chinese companies. You'll go through the exact same procedures, and it'll allow you fair access. You're not going to get special access, but you're going to certainly get fair access. And on top of that, he is going to increase the number of digital zones where Chinese and foreign companies alike can register their companies, and if they qualify, get a lot of very beneficial tax and investment policies.
All right, Einar.
I should say.
Einar Tangen, always helping us understand. We appreciate your time and the explanation, of course.